When deciding the content which you wish to include in your poster, you need to know what are the most important things that you want your audience to learn. If the content does not reinforce your message, leave it out. Focus on what are the most significant things to be highlighted. As a presenter, when preparing your poster, always ask yourself these questions. Number 1. Does the information catch the audience's attention? Number 2. Does the information tell them what question you are trying to answer? And number 3, does the information tell them about your finding? Remember, you do not have to include your abstract for the poster presentation, as it might be needed for approval purposes only. Usually, an abstract is not needed because the poster is already a condensed report of your work. Although you should utilize the space that you have on your poster, always remember to organize the content and not to cram in the content. The information should be placed accordingly so that the eyes of a reader follow one piece of information to the other, leading them to the next sections of the poster. Audience normally looks at the upper left part of the poster first. You can use specific boxes or columns to separate and emphasize on specific points. Meanwhile, arrows can be used to point out the flow if necessary. The flow of information on a poster should be lucid from the layout. Remember to place the important points at the top of each column. They should be hierarchical. When it comes to the design of the poster, it is all about balance. Do not make one end of the poster too overwhelmed with information, while the other part is too plain. Where appropriate, use graphs, tables, diagrams, or images to help your audience to better understand the message that you wish to communicate. If you plan to use graphics in your poster, which I think you should, ensure that all visuals and text relate well to the message that you wish to convey to your audience. Use the graphics and images sparingly to convey the story, and be sure to use them with appropriate text. Also bear in mind that the graphics or images are used to support the information and they are not there for decoration purposes. The purposes of using graphics or images on a poster are to actually emphasize the main points, to show results of the finding, to summarize numerical data, and to show trends or relationships. If you have taken the graphics from another source, then they should be cited properly. Clearly label the graphics or images and provide references to them in the text where needed. In another word, you need to appropriately label and caption them. All axes and graphs should be labeled and each unit should be shown clearly. Additionally, pay attention to the quality of the images used. Choose ones with high resolution and do not look blurry on the poster. The choice of font will also play a major role when you design your poster. The title should be readable from a few meters away, so the size of your font should be at least 48-point text. Meanwhile, the body text should be readable from 2 or 3 meters away. At least 24-point text will do the trick. Remember to choose a clear font with large inner space. A few suggested choices are Times New Roman, Arial, Verdana, Georgia, and Helvetica. Meanwhile, the sans serif font is a great choice if a font for a title or subheading. Avoid using too many fonts on a poster as it may be confusing for the readers. Use a standardized font for the headings in a poster so that your poster will look more organized. Do not use font which appears so fantastic that it becomes a pain to make sense of. In addition, keep the word count as minimum as possible. In some cases, you should check with the organizer on the word limit for a poster. Avoid using all capital letters or uppercase for the text. You need to mind your manner in interacting with the audience who will read your poster. Your choice of color scheme is vital for your poster. Always use color wisely and not too much. Limit the use of 2 to 3 colors for a poster. Remember, you are using colors to emphasize or isolate certain points. When choosing the color scheme for your poster, avoid color combinations that do not suit well, such as red for the layout and blue for the font. Ideally, white or pastel colors are suitable for the background in the poster layout, and darker colors are suitable for the font to create more contrast between them.